Hey guys, Krootman here. And if you guys watched my last video, you will know that I had to potentially shut down my whole mining farm while I get my power bill sorted out. Well, it's looking like we are finally here. In this video, I basically want to explain to you my situation, and then I'll explain to you how much I'm actually going to turn off and if I'm going to leave anything on. So long story short, I guess you could call us lucky. Based on reading the comments of my last video, I feel like we're probably lucky compared to most of the world and most of the US. In Pennsylvania, you have this option called PA Power Switch. It gives you the option to shop half of your bill. In PA, you have two parts of a bill. You have your supply and you have your generation. And you can shop the rate of your supplier. My current contracted rate for 4 months was 0.049 cents supply, and my generation is 8 cents. Okay, so my current contract runs out today, the day of filming, February 26, 2024. And if I were to stay with the current supplier I have, my rate goes from 0.49 cents to like 11 cents. So it basically puts me at like 19 cents, which is a no-go. So I canceled them, and when you cancel your supplier, you go back to your default company. My default company is 0.9 cents, which puts me at 17 cents per kilowatt hour, at least temporarily. Now, I told you guys in the last video, again, I'll have a link down to that one, that I went and got a new supplier. I applied online, and I called them today to check where I was on the process. I had gotten approved, and I was scheduled to switch over at the start of my next billing cycle, which is weird because that should be today. But they're telling me it's not going to take an effect till the 1st of February, which is not good. And essentially means that I'm going to have to shut down most of my stuff for the next month. Now, I don't necessarily think that's always the case. Like, I think I can call my power company and ask them to switch me earlier. But I think I need to wait a few days for my current supplier to successfully switch me over to my original supplier. This feels like it's a lot of work, and sometimes it is, but it's what you got to do to keep cheap power. And a lot of people actually don't really do that in Pennsylvania, which is a shame. But I get it because it's a lot of work. So anyway, that means that I essentially have to mothball most of my shed for about a month or so. So in the rest of this video, I want to go over everything in my farm because I don't really have that much diversity because I've downsized my farm quite a bit in terms of the amount of GPUs I've had, and I've gone way more dense, which this is proving why I made the right call going dense. So let's go over my GPUs, my CPUs, and my ASICs, and what I'm going to keep on and what I'm going to shut off. My 1660 Super Rig. Now this is old footage as I've since moved this into a server case, but these things have been off for about a week and a half. They're just not profitable right now, and it doesn't make sense to turn them on. So they're off, and frankly, I may strongly consider selling these things. I don't know. You guys love to see them as content, so it's a dilemma I have. Might do a video on this at a later date. So they're off. My CMP 100 210s. Now, I have 36 of those up, and they've been mining Ergo for about a month or so. I told you my plan on those was basically to just mine Ergo with them up until they hit, I don't know, like $4 or $5, because I really don't even need Ergo to get anywhere near the $20 it hit. Right now, they are breaking even, which would be worth it to keep them on. But at 17 cents kilowatt hour, it's not going to be worth it. So I'll be shutting them off. Next, we have my BC250s. These things are going to be shut off as they just use way too much power. And they were borderline profitable at 13 cents. But now it definitely makes sense to shut them off. And I'm not even sure I'm going to be turning these back on due to some stipulations for my new contract. More on that in a future video. But for now, these things will be off. As for my 40 series rig, they're still profitable on Aleo. Even with the abysmal profits of Aleo right now, I'm still making like $3 a day on the rig right now. And at my new power rate of basically like 0.17 cents, I'll be making about $1 to $1.50 on Aleo. And I really think Aleo is going to go nuts when ASICs hit the network. So I'm still going to build a bag on it. So right now, we're going to leave my single 40 series rig on. And frankly, I need to leave some stuff on in that shed so that I can keep it temperature controlled and make sure that that the weather doesn't damage my parts in there. My 170 HXs are next. Now you guys know I've got about 22 of them running, and in the last 3 or 4 days I just had another 10 arrive. So I'm going to be getting those set up in a future video, probably later this week. Anyway, at 17 cents on Zealous, these things are still making about 33 to 35 cents a day, which proves that, you know, when you're running the best GPUs on an algorithm, you can survive when your power rate goes up. So the hash rate on Zealous has remained stable, and the price is still floating around $8 to $8.50. Not quite the bloodbath we've seen on Zealous as with other algorithms. So I will be leaving all of my 170HXs on, as I said with the 40 series. I've got to leave something on in the shed, and these things are still profitable. And if Zealous hits $10 to $15, so half of its all-time high, these things will have been worth keeping on. And I do think it'll go higher than that, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. So they'll be staying on. Let's move on to my ASICs. The first one, my Goldshell DG1M. It's staying on. It's definitely not going to be as profitable at 17 cents kilowatt hour. You're looking at about maybe $3 to $4 a day in profits. But I do believe that we're going to have a huge run up on Doge and LTC, so that I believe that this will be worth keeping on. And it's heating my shed and therefore heating my house. It's actually helped keep my bedroom, which is above my garage, warm. So this one will be staying on, and it just goes to show that if you buy the right ASICs that you can put in your house, they have dual uses. So DG1M will be staying on. We're going to leave the Krootman Doge miner, the Mini Doge 3 Plus, up, as like I said, I believe that Doge will be profitable and there will be a big run up on it. So I will be leaving this one on. And again, I do need heat for this shed. The two AL0s and KA0 Ultra, they're going off. They're just not profitable. And I'll wait till the power rate comes back. They're not really making that much anyway. So honestly, for now, we're just going to go ahead and leave them off. Part of me thinks that maybe I shouldn't leave them off, as their profitability on these things is limited. But power matters, and I don't really feel like losing money on them. So they are going off right now. So those three are off. Now as for my Jazzminer X16Q, it's been profitable. I paid about $3 grand for this thing, and I'm definitely probably like 3/4 of the way to making my money back on this. At 17 cents, it will break even, but I believe ETC is going to go up, which is what it's currently mining. So for now, I will be leaving this thing on. All right, now here are the Warthog rigs I want to talk about. These things for now are staying on. I've turned off the BC250s, like I said, which is a lot of my hash power. But I'm going to leave these rigs on, and I want to see how profitable they are. I'm probably going to do a 1 to 2 day test. If these things are not profitable, I will be shutting them off. And if you note, these have the only 30 series GPUs I have left. I've got 6 3070 Ti's and 2 3070s, 1 3060 Ti, and then I've got a 6800 XT mining board. So anyway, if these aren't profitable, I will shut them down, but for now, they will stay on. Well, that's it for this one, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. It is kind of a bummer to be turning off all these, but some of these need maintenance. Like this has a dead fan, which I'll probably replace in a later date. But it's just the reality of being a home miner right now. I told you guys that we were going to be having some issues in the future with home mining, and for some people like me, it happens to be here right now. Now I got to shut these things off, and remember, with the PCSP Octominers, you have to go about unplugging all of them. You basically have to unplug them to get the fans to shut off, which is annoying, but it is what it is. Like these Octominers are cheap, but they're not perfect. So just remember that when you go ahead and pick these up, and I have affiliate links on them. So that's it for this one. So it just goes to show you how important it is to understand your current situation and prepare for the worst. I prepared for this eventuality, so it hurts a lot less, as my 170HXs are still profitable even at a higher power rate. Hopefully I'll be able to turn everything else back on soon, and if I can't, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. So thank you guys for watching this one, and I'll see you on the next one.